Women in the Presidency, Bathabile Dlamini. Thank you for being with us, Minister.
Thank you.
So beyond children's rights, which we just looked at in an insert, the stats are atrocious. Looking at child homicide in South Africa, apparently the rate is double the global average. What role can the Ministry of Women play in all of this when we are in a dire situation?
The Ministry of Women works with other departments, but what we need to try and do is to step up our justice system, our advocacy programs, ensure that children get psychosocial support, because what has been going on is that we've been just moving with our lives, not understanding the emotional needs of the children. But also, the department is running a program of dialogues. In June, we are going to focus on the girl child, youth, and I've requested that as of now, in our dialogues, we add 10% of men and boys so that they understand what patriarchy is, but also understand important basic needs of the girl child.
UNICEF, talking about those programs, says in Africa governments can do so much more, and if we look at abuse, which is the extreme end, I mean, not even talking about literacy or child-headed households, the emotional support that you're talking about, the programs for abuse, against abuse of children, account for less than 1% of government spend. Where are we in South Africa on prioritizing children?
I think we have prioritized children in South Africa. For instance, early childhood development, there are people that are in register A and B that cannot work with children. Those are people that have criminal cases that have to do with children. But secondly, education. Thirdly, the grant. Fourthly, for orphans, we have youth care workers. We have programs that are focusing squarely on children, Child Justice Act, the Children's Act, but also the Constitution of the country protects children. But what is important is that this is a societal issue, and we need, as South Africans, to understand that the girl child is not abused, because in that same report, they are saying that the most discriminated child is the girl child, and there are areas where they have specifically spoken about the girl child, and I'm impressed about that. But also the indicators they have used are going to assist us to have a clear lens and a direct program on the issues that affect the girl child.
The girl child affected by patriarchy in this country, a scourge having huge knock-on effects for children. You were accused of enforcing those stereotypes about women at one stage with the ANC Women's League, the delegation where men were added, and you said, well, they are more technically minded. You suggested that. You also said that women could be more emotional during debates. What would you say to people who are very skeptical about you in this current role because of that?
One, that was explained. Secondly, those teams had men and women, and the person that has been taking us through the program of a land expropriation without compensation is a woman. and a woman and intellectual, and we've been talking to ordinary women, rural women about such issues. We do have the experience on issues, for instance, of the land. Issues of communal land are about women, and we are the ones that work the land. So they were together there. It was not men only. And so sometimes...
And being emotional during debates?
The issue of emotions, all human beings do have some sort of emotions. So I'm not going to run away from that. I've cried before because of how I feel about something that is happening. And it comes, and because women are strong, and some of them have adopted a defense against abuse and attacks. They cry for a short period and pass.
Do you feel like you have clout in this ministry? So there were those concerns. Also, given your support for the former president and Cyril Ramaphosa's opponent in December, some were saying, well, they were surprised you were kept on as a minister, but perhaps in this position you are neutralized.
For those that do not respect women, I am neutralized. For those that understand women's issues, we are going to move forward and work. And what is important is that we've been given more leverage, because we are not going to deal with the issues that are only about the ANC. Yes, the ANC is the champion of the emancipation of a women's struggle, but we are going to go out and work with all women, have a single platform of action that will unite us, more particularly on the issues of violence against women, because a woman in the informal settlement, rural areas, a three-story building are all abused. And this is one thing that brings women together.
And what would you say to those who are concerned about your conduct in the SASA debacle, saying that you put grants to vulnerable children and women, millions of them in South Africa, at risk?
No one, I don't want people to think I am arrogant. But we have never had a month where grant recipients did not get their grants. And I'm not going to look back. There is someone else who is responsible now. And the only thing I can do is to wish her well, and also contribute when we speak about those issues in cabinet. But I want to try and ensure that I take myself out of the whole thing, because I don't want at any day anyone to say my presence in any program is to ensure that the programs of social development are sabotaged. But I serve where I am at the behest of the President and the African National Congress. And whatever I do is to ensure that we deliver the services to our people.
Can you take yourself out of it, because the Constitutional Court is still looking into whether you should be personally held liable for costs incurred? It seems clear that those grants were only paid to the children and women because the Constitutional Court stepped in and enforced an illegal contract against its will, obviously.
I don't also want to discuss that matter. I did not come for it here. I'm not again being arrogant, because you have said yourself the matter is in court. Court matters I will deal with, and any outcome the ANC will deal with. Yes.
Other matters, though, Minister, I'm sorry, these have been in the news of late. The CEO, the acting CEO that you endorsed, it came out, taxpayers' money was spent on events where everything, the marquee, the flooring, the toilets, everything came in just under 500,000 rand. And you were the political head at that point.
Okay. Again, I regret that everyone has made an effort to discredit a Pearl. Pearl is a banker, or she has worked for a bank for a number of years. She is experienced on these matters. And my challenge with what we are raising is there are two issues that came up 2 weeks successively. The other one came on the week when I was going to debate women's budget vote. The other one came when I was going to debate the presidency debate.
But it does look suspicious. Surely you agree if everything is under 500,000 rand.
Wait. I'm not even sure if you've gone through everything that has to do with that report. And I don't know how it came out of the AG's report. Because for the past 4 years, we've been getting a clean audit. And if there is anything wrong we have done, the AG will tell us. And we need someone.
This is in the AG's report.
We need someone who's going to interpret that. And we need someone who's going to talk about all the events. Because around that time, we were also focusing on Oliver Tambo here. And that same time, we had events in Nkantolo. And so my challenge is, why pick on one issue? Why don't you put on the table everything and discuss everything? And I am asked here at the studio about this. And no one has ever asked me formally about the issue. So, firstly,
I guess the public would like to know, so this gives you a chance.
The public wants to know this is an unfair chance you are giving me. You prepared this question, and you said to me I was coming to be interviewed about International Children's Day. Now you turn around, you ask me questions about SCOPA, and I'm trying...
So, Minister, the reason why is because children were under your care as Social Development Minister.
But how many
children? So I think these are pertinent questions.
How many children were not in the program before and are in the program today? How many children are in Isibindi? How many children are looked after by child care workers? How many children have passed a standard or grade 12 because of this program? You just pick up one issue. You want to destroy me. And
Minister,
I am very sad because this is done by another woman. You've not done that to men. You've never called them to account here on TV.
Minister, I call men to account every day.
I'm not rude, but I'm saying to you, what you are doing is disappointing, You should have prepared me so that I prepare a correct report so that people do not say I am arrogant. You want to judge me on the basis of things that are said about me. And you want to make me an animal that people always say I am because I speak forcefully. I'm trying to say to you, please, let's leave this subject. If you want to talk about it, let's prepare for it. No, you don't want to do that.
Minister, what I'm trying to give you, if you let me speak, is a right to reply to media reports, negative media reports suggesting things about your ability to look after children. Can I talk about something else then? And this, you must admit, is pertinent. NGOs under social development looking after children said they weren't receiving the subsidies. Again, please, I'm giving you the right to reply. We cannot misquote you. We are offering you a chance to talk about the outcry from NGOs about their treatment by the Social Development Department. There are new reports relating to this year, yes, but reports relating to your political tenure as well.
Okay. During my political tenure, an NGO came to report to me that they did not get their money. I then tried to find out. And then the bureaucracy that was created there, that they must all report before money goes out, I said, no, that's not fair. NGOs must get their money. But you must also remember, there are NGOs that are funded nationally. There are those that are funded by provinces. The ones I'm talking about now are the ones that are serving nationally. You can talk to the 3 people that I spoke to in the department that were responsible, because I fully understand that the work of government cannot move forward without the assistance of the NGOs. I know that the NGOs are always where our people are.
All right, thank you for your time this evening. That was Minister of Women in the Presidency, Bathabile Dlamini.